Hello, this is Saley, the owner of Active In-Home Therapy. Welcome to the team. If we have not spoken, it is nice to meet you. And please know that I am always open to an introductory call. So just shoot me an email if you'd like to do that. My email is saley@activeinhometherapy.com. It's nice to touch base after you started working on cases to see how things are going. So I would definitely welcome talking to you. Also, please be aware that both Gabe and I will text from the same phone line, so you're never sure which one of us you're talking to. We do that because we need to have continuity on when we're staffing cases, no matter who's busy with something else at the time. And this video is specifically to show you how to enter your time in when I work, which is our timesheet system. I am going to be showing this to you on the computer, but you can do all of the same functions on the app on your phone. It looks slightly different, but all the concepts are the same. I just only use it on the computer because I have everybody that I need to look at on here. Once you log into When I Work, and you should have received an invitation when you first started with us, you go to Attendance. Oops, let's close that. Attendance, Timesheets, and it will bring you to this screen. It will show your name up here. I'm using Kim Tester as our test person. And on the top left, it should show you the current pay period. By default, it should show you that, but if not, you can choose the correct one. I'm often on a different pay period because I'm looking at stuff in the past. So I always have to go up here and select. Our pay periods are 2 weeks long. They end on a Saturday. So what you are going to do is add your visits. And we have set up Kim Tester with 2 different patients, just because that would make it easier to show the different things that you can do here. So let's say you saw somebody on May 27th and you enter, let's say at 3 p.m. So you saw them at 3 p.m. You're going to enter your end time as exactly 1 hour after you saw the patient, you started seeing the patient, no matter how long you stayed. Often it's going to be less. Rarely it will be more, but it is 1 hour. That is how the pay works out perfectly correct. But be careful. If you just enter 4 here, it's going to default to 4 a.m. and it's not going to be an hour. It's going to be 13 hours into the next day. So you want to make sure that you're looking and you're ending up with what exactly 1 hour in the total here. If you only had 1 patient, then your patient would have actually popped up automatically. But since we set up Kim Tester with 2 different patients, then you have to go here and hover to the right in this details area, click on add schedule, and then you can choose the patient that you saw for this visit. We're going to choose John Doe for her. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to select the type of visit. This list may look, and it's an added position. This list may look different depending on your specific type of position. Especially if you're a PTA or a CODA, you're not going to have the evals and things like discharges and SOCs. There's things that are only applicable to certain people. This whole list is all of the visit types possible for anybody. So the PP is actually for private pay patient. And we are pretty good about telling you specifically if this is a private patient. So these 2 choices are only ever applicable to private patients. We have those less than others just because they don't come as often as the workers' comp ones. What we do get, and more than likely your first patient with us is going to be a workers' comp patient. So there's a WC eval and a WC visit for that. And let's say it was an eval. So you select eval, and that's really all you would have to do to enter an eval for this patient. And then there also is HHA, which is home health agency work. This is if we are helping out home health agencies with their cases. So we are working on their behalf. And you would know very clearly if you're working on an HHA patient because you have to document in their system. So you'll get a login to their system, a contact of somebody on their side that you would be talking to if you have questions. So it should be very clear. For HHA, there's also eval, visit, discharge, and OASIS SOC. And discharge and SOC are only ever applicable to home health agency. A discharge for a private and a workers' comp is just a regular visit. We do automatically add admin, which is like documentation time for all of your visits. That didn't used to be the case, and it was a lot more cumbersome to enter visits, but it is done automatically for you. You will see more hours on your pay stub than what you entered on your timesheet because we're adding your admin time, but it's pretty clear on there what it is for. However, if you have anything else that is not related to a visit, something that we discussed and you did something on behalf of the company that took time and you want to be able to charge for it, then you could select the admin time for that. That usually doesn't have anything to do with the patient, so you would enter it without selecting a patient for that, and you might enter a note here, right on this little thing here for a note. There is another reason why you might want to add a note. So let's say John Doe is a little far from your house and we negotiated mileage for you to go see this patient. When you enter the visits for this patient, you would also enter in here the miles. Let's say it was 30 miles on here. But that is only if we didn't negotiate that before we accepted the patient. I'm going to remove it just because that's more of an exception. And then the other, let's say also, let me add another entry on the same day. We want to do that because often you'll be working with two patients on the same day. You'll go back to where the date is, click on the plus, add another entry, so it opens another line for you to do it. So let's say you had seen another patient from 4:30 to 5:30. Oh, I'm going to AM. See, that happens. So you got to make sure that is correct. 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. And we will make that her other patient. And let's say this was just a visit. They'd already seen this patient. But now the way this worked out, you basically saw these two patients back to back. If that ever happens, that you see patients back to back, so you see the patient, you travel to the next patient, then you see the next patient. That time in between the two visits is actually chargeable to the company. So you would add a travel time also. So you would add another entry from 4 to 4:30. Let's say it was the travel time was actually from 4 p.m. to 4:25 p.m. So you would add exactly how long it took you to travel. You would add a destination patient as the patient, and you would select travel time. So that's how it would be if you're seeing two patients back to back. If you see somebody in the morning, somebody else in the afternoon, then there's no travel time because you were able to do things in between that are your own things and not company things. The other type of, and then on here, oh, I forgot, then you also would say, you took me 15 miles to charge to drive between these two patients. And here you can add something much smaller too. Like, let's say it only took you 3 miles, go ahead and add it. You're going to get paid for it. And the other type of visit that I haven't discussed yet is, let's say you go to a patient's home, you confirm the time, you go there, and they are not available for whatever reason. Often it happens that they go back to the hospital and they don't tell us, or they're not home and we don't know why, or they refuse to be seen. We do want you to get paid something for it, and you do. We don't necessarily get paid for it. The companies make it very difficult, and often they will not pay us. But we do believe that your time is valuable and we want to pay you something. So you would add in here, let's say the visit was at 5 p.m. You do 5, and you would add a visit that's 15 minutes long. Oh, put the AM again. 5:15 p.m. And then you would put the name of the patient, and then you would put here, miss visit. Please do note that there is a template for miss visit, just like there is for all of the other workers' comp. When Ariza sends you all the templates in the beginning, when you first start with us, that template is also there. You may not have had to use it for a while and not notice it's there, but it is. And if you need it, we can always send it to you again. I think that is all I had wanted to show you on timesheets. Please let me know if you have any questions. This quick video should enable you to complete your timesheet. And don't worry, because I do review everything for accuracy, and I will let you know if there are any issues. And the last thing I wanted to tell you is that there is no way for you to tell me when I work that you are done with submitting hours. So a couple of days before the pay period is over and the timesheet is due, I will send an email reminder with some information, some instructions in there, so that you don't have to remember everything that's in this video. It's also in that email for the most part. And there'll also be a link to a Google form for you to say that you are done with your timesheet. So you fill that out, and then I end up getting like a spreadsheet of all the entries, and it makes it really easy for me to tell who's done and who hasn't confirmed that they're done. If you don't fill out that form, I will reach out to you to ask you if you are done. I try to not send it to you if I know you're not assigned to anything, but it's difficult to keep track of all the cases and all the people working on the cases. So forgive me if I send you something and you have no current patients. I try not to do that. Timesheets are due at 9 a.m. on Sunday after the pay period ends on Saturday, but I do encourage you to finish it quicker because it makes it a little easier for me. That is it. Thank you so much, and do let me know if you have any questions. All right, bye-bye.